All right, good afternoon, everyone. Another Manic Monday, and I got a surprise guest with me today. I was able to get the Arkansas hillbilly out of hibernation, get a haircut, fresh shave. Nope, strike one, strike two, and bring on my partner Lee here with me today to talk a little bit about a sales attitude and a few other techniques and tactics that we want to talk about, some of the stuff that we're training everybody. But I really wanted to say how happy I am that we started. Today was the first launch of our sales groups. And just to fill anybody that isn't really aware of what we're doing, Lee and I have created an idea and a concept of adding 10 salespeople to a group. And we're doing group training sessions with them, normally from 7 to 7:50 in the morning before they start work, and listening to calls, building, camaraderie, little competition. We've got some data sets that they're going to fill out and compete for a $100 Amazon card every month to the winner.
Basically, what you're saying is going to be some smack talking.
Absolutely, a little smack talking. And we're going to try to learn from each other.
Yeah, and you don't want to come with some terrible call because then, what I mean? You're going to know, oh, my gosh, I got to listen to them do that. Yeah.
So we're excited. We have over 90 members so far that have signed up for classes. That's, again, I said, started this morning. 24 different yards are involved with this right now, and we're still getting more and more people coming in. If you want to join, we have got classes for $300,000 a month salespeople down to $30,000 a month, or we have rookie classes. So we're kind of trying to put everybody together sort of by your sales grade, so to speak, or your numbers. But the way we're grading the competitions will be kind of not by your highest salesperson, but some ratios and algorithms that we built to grade everybody on. But really looking forward to the groups. And like I said, I couldn't be happier with the turnout that we had, and moving forward. And again, East Coast times, Central times, even these, mountain people, whatever, what is that? Mountain West.
Mountain people. You mean
mountain? And then we're working on trying to get some West Coast groups involved as well. But sure, again, kind of opening this up to everybody, and the more the merrier.
Yep. I mean, it's going to be fun. I mean, and it's going to be, something where, at times they're going to have a lot, like I said, a lot of trash talking. They're going to have some bad calls, and it's going to be somebody that sells $300,000 a month is going to come in with some terrible call, and it's going to be a good time to keep everybody's ego in check. So,
yeah, and we're going to do not just sales calls. We're going to do callbacks. We're going to try to do some recorded cold calls. We're going to try to cover all the aspects of what everybody has to do. But the goal that we came up with was trying to get your salespeople to spend 50 minutes a week with 9 or 10 of their peers, with Lee or I, monitoring it to talk about their job and how they can get better at it. So, the concept was, I just don't see how that could be any harm, getting your people to sell more so they can make more. It's just, what a great deal.
Well, and I mean, think about it. There's going to be times where they're going to want to sit here and say, guess this deal I just got through. And then here's more people they get to actually have that conversation with. And sometimes they're already patting themselves on the back. I just made an $8,000 deal. And then all of a sudden in one of these groups, somebody's going to go, oh, yeah, that's all? Look what I did earlier today. And it's going to be good. It's going to motivate folks for sure.
And I'm really going to be upset because I sent out a message yesterday that Lee yelled at me about because I did it on Easter. But I wanted to break my views rule or goal or record of 2,000 views. And now if I do break it, Lee's going to say that it was him that was on it. And that's why we broke the record.
No, I'm sure that nobody knew I was coming had nothing to do with it. But I can't help but give you a hard time because I was like, I leave it to you to turn around and take Easter and try to make it about yourself.
Absolutely. Right. So, and
not good, but
yeah, happy Easter. So, and also why we're talking about the sales and the sales groups, Lee, if you want to chime in quickly about the sales managers groups.
Yeah, I mean, just the simple fact of These are the people leading a lot of these salespeople. And we've got about 30 sales managers that get together in some different groups and just hash out problems, hash out frustrations, hash out, have you run into this? Have you seen this? Sometimes it's about, hey, look out for this person. I mean, we've even seen the fraud thing come through to everybody. So it really is just fun. I mean, sometimes we get up there and a little bit of smack talking about each other's sports teams, but overall, it's a good amount of time, 2 hours spent learning from each other and having a little bit of fun. It's been really cool.
Yep, it has. So again, anyone that's out there that wants to be a part of one of these teams or these groups, just reach out to us, profitteamconsulting.com. You can find our stuff. And we're looking to do more of this stuff and more of these groups. It's an affordable way to get your people sales training, right? By allowing it to do in a group level. And I think it's actually going to be just as effective as any kind of one-on-one stuff that Lee and I do, which leads us, right? That's my volley into what we're going to talk about is what Lee and I do during these group training and what we do with the one-on-ones. And, I lay, when I can't sleep at night, I think of all these kooky little things that Lee scratches his head and wonders why I think of this. But I was thinking of sales calls as tactical, right? Is how do I get in and be tactical at the beginning of the call, Lee, and then go into my techniques and my sales and my close later on. And by tactical, I mean, how am I positioning myself for which close I want to use, Lee, right? So, and it's always, is it a new customer, old customer, retail, wholesale, customer in California, customer in our town? The way you position yourself, correct me if I'm wrong, is almost tactical at the beginning of the call.
No, a lot of it is. And although I do think a lot of people think it's hogwash, a lot about what we talk about is taking control of the call. That's if there's anything that I could say is tactical, that's it. It's like learning how. I mean, and recently I listened to a customer do it to a salesperson. I was like, that was beautiful. We need that person, because they just took control of the call by, asking the right questions, having that person's attention. I mean, so absolutely, I'm with you on it being pretty tactical.
Right.
I really don't try to come up with it, Rob. I mean, I have to give you credit. It was pretty good on your part because
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I'll never repeat it.
But it's where I see the biggest fail on most of the people that I train, I coach. I like a much better word, coach, Lee, than I do like training or consultant. I like coach much better, but it seems asking for the sale in the beginning or in the middle there is kind of where I see the biggest fail, right? They go through great because I'm a big at the beginning of the call tone, right? How was the greeting? Good morning. How are you? That sort of thing. Then we go into, right, we deliver what we have, but it's asking, right? The technique of saying whose name do you want me to put on the invoice? When would you like that delivered? Instead of positioning it like, is asking, okay, when am I delivering it?
Then you're saying that big. I'm gonna interrupt you and say that the biggest fail is when people don't do it. They don't even ask. You're right about the timing, but there's a ton of people that don't even ask for the sale. Yeah, I have that. It's $1,100. I have it to you on Monday.
Right. And then when the rebuttal comes, okay, I'll let you know. They just say okay.
Yeah.
And so the big thing that you and I try to work on a lot of times is when the customer says this, you're prepared to say that.
Yeah.
And what is it there? What is the hesitation of the customer to purchase the part? We're afraid to ask. I'm sorry, sir. I'm confused. You need a part. I have the part, but you're not buying it. Can I ask you why? Well, it's going to be what, Lee? Price, availability, warranty, right? Or you're not the decision maker?
Sometimes, Rob, I'll say this, and I probably was just thinking in my head when you said that. Sometimes the reason they don't, and they can't square the customer off and ask that and feel comfortable is because they really didn't quite get the call done the way it needed to be able to say they already know that. In other words, they didn't make sure that they could meet the customer's expectation on when they needed it. They didn't make sure that when they said the price that the customer was like, no, that's a good price. They didn't make sure of all these things. So at the end of it, if they were to open up that can of worms, as we say in the South, and say, why didn't you buy it? They haven't eliminated things, where you get more confident about being able to ask that is, you said you needed it this day and this price, and I've done all that. So when can I get it to you? And being a little more aggressive. So some of that I think probably comes, like you said, it's an attitude, but it's an attitude that I didn't do my job on the front end of this call, and I mean, everybody answers a ton of calls, so I understand it, and we're always working towards it. They didn't do their job on the front end, so it makes it a little bit less hesitant to be confident on the back end. Honestly,
I love that you say it, because the argument that I get quite a bit when I say I want you tactical, who, where, why, what, when, have you found one, how much? The argument, the pushback I get, Lee, is what? Oh, I don't have time to do that. I'm too busy. And I say, BS, right? Is if you're tactical, it makes the call shorter.
Absolutely.
It makes the call easier if you're asking those questions at the beginning of the call. But one more question, Lee. If it's a can of worms in the South, what are you opening in the East?
a
can of BS, maybe, or I don't know.
Probably.
We have worms here. We fish too in the East, but anyway. But that was just
fishing up there. I didn't know.
Yeah. But those are. I love how Lee spun it back into it is an attitude. Attitude sales. The best salespeople out there, Lee, are the confident ones. The ones that aren't afraid to fail, the ones aren't afraid to make mistakes, the ones aren't afraid to hear no, right? Those are the ones that are most successful. So
I like to say the ones that actually know their value. I mean, if I know I'm good and I know my time is valuable, like you just said, I'm on the phone all day long. I'm busy. I need to make these count. If I feel the value in it, I'm comfortable stopping you as a customer and saying, what were you thinking when with my price? And I'm never going to be rude. But I'm going to say, hey, you're wasting my time too. If you're going to take my time, I deserve to know what you think. I have earned the right on this call. If I do my call correctly, I always felt like, you've earned the right to find out what you thought of my solution to your problem. That's the way I feel like it. And so, I think a lot of that, like you said, it's confidence, but it's also, hey, I know my value. And my value is that my time is precious. So give me some answers on this deal.
Right. What is that value? Enough salespeople don't understand that their time is money as well.
Yep.
Right. I call it the Billy Squire call. You know that. It's called the stroke. I got to recognize the stroke and get off the call. Right. I need to recognize that because my time is worth money as well. But these are some of the techniques. These are some of the tactics that we train during these classes. I'm excited to say anyone from the Ontario Auto Recyclers Association, we will see everybody Thursday. It will be Lee and I arguing just like this about some kind of Mason-Dixon line or something. Is that it? Or the Mississippi? Or is
today we were a little bit subdued. I don't really know that I got to argue with you much.
Okay. Well, I'm a bit of an over talker, but this is my Manic Mondays on Facebook. Please make comments on the bottom, like it. We're trying to break the record of 2,000 views, but I want to know what you guys want me to talk about. And I said on the post, everybody's in sales. This isn't just about auto recycling sales. This is about car sales, furniture sales. I don't care what you're selling, if it's yourself, whatever it may be, all of these tactics, all of these techniques that we talk about will work some way in some format with everyone. And that's what our goal is. So I guess this is kind of, Lee and I had a concept. So this is our first test run of the Redneck and the Yankee, so to speak, Lee. We're going to get some theme music built here, some kind of deliverance banjo type of music.
I do. You had to deliver. I do. Sorry, music.
Banjos.
I mean, I would do that. That'll be my only contribution to the whole thing is to provide some good banjo music. How about that?
Yeah, you could play some spoons, some kind of thing like that. But I appreciate Lee hopping on. I appreciate everybody. And as normal, we were going to do 10 minutes and we're over 15 because Lee and I talk too much. But Lee talks too much and I try to get him to shut up. But anyway, Manic Mondays. I appreciate everybody getting on with us. And I'll see you next Monday, or we'll see you on Thursday. And just excited to get on and always talk about sales.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, that part of it, no BS. You and I both love this stuff. So
yeah. So, all right, everyone, have a great week, and see you next week.